When the Houthis say that we're going to cut the fiber optics that run under the Red Sea, on the floor of the Red Sea, that are the key to global communication, 80% of the world's global communication, we're protecting Europe's interests. And even more important, what we're protecting is the idea of globalism. The American military and the American taxpayer, the American citizen, is upholding the structure, the idea and structure of globalism. There's an international community. There's a global economy. There's a global communication that we have to protect with our soldiers, with our sons and daughters, with our blood, with our money. And see, it all goes back to the money. It always goes back to the money. This whole thing was built when the United States dollar became the world's reserve currency. And slowly but surely, you saw the empire expand. And now anywhere where our dollar is the reserve currency, our military has to be there ready to fight any rebels who challenge that status quo. And that's why all those Arab countries over the last week have joined the BRICS now. This is a challenge of the United States dollar as the global hegemony. That's what's going on here. And instead of us being a big boy and saying, then this is what a pimp has to do sometimes. A pimp has to let a working girl know sometimes, hey, you think it's better over there with them? Go find out. But you got to be able to back that up. You got to be able to back that up, and you got to be able to live with her going. And that's difficult for people. And our government is showing that our game ain't too tight. We don't want to let our vassal states. We don't want to let the vassal states go and live on their own a little. You don't like the world under America? You don't like the world under Western civilization? Go ahead and find out what it's like when we're not there. That's what leadership would really look like. That's what Donald Trump was proposing. And even he was doing it incrementally because he understood the narrative, the strength of the narrative that exists amongst the world's leaders, not amongst the people. The MAGA grassroots is already saying America first. We are not interested in these wars. We're not interested in protecting these interests. But the rest of America's leaders aren't quite there. And that would come to bear on Donald Trump in a significant way. You're already seeing it. Even though he tried to incrementally do it, they resent him and they reject him because of that incremental change. And that's why they're going after him with 91 indictments. I don't even know if Donald Trump gets that. Honestly, I hope I get a chance to talk to him. I was supposed to go to Mar-a-Lago and meet with him. I'm doing a national radio show every day. I'm doing the podcast. I'm doing as much as I can do. I wish I had gotten down to the Mar-a-Lago. Terrible that I missed the opportunity or whatnot. And I thank you to the gentleman that invited me. He's a brother of mine, a friend of mine, friend and comrade in the movement. But I couldn't do it. And here's what I'll say. I hope I get the chance to talk to him in the very near future. And I hope it's nothing wrong with a dinner setting. Don't get me wrong. But we need some constant correspondence and coordination about what's going on here. And maybe they have it. Maybe they have it. But if I'm Donald Trump right now, I don't even know if Donald Trump really understood that from my viewpoint, the reason they're going after him has nothing to do with any of these cultural wedge issues. It ain't got nothing to do with racism. It ain't got nothing to do with debt or business deals. It ain't got nothing to do with sexual harassment or, whatever, what he says on Twitter. It got nothing to do with any of that. The single greatest reason they resent Donald Trump is because he was one of the first anti-war presidents in the last 30 to 40 years. He was one of the first genuine anti-war presidents since John F. Kennedy. That's why they resent him. That's why they don't like him. That's why they're afraid of him. Because they know he has the stones to actually ask the question, is this worth it? Does this serve America? The moment he stood up before NATO, the moment he sat before NATO and questioned the structure of the deal, I knew Donald Trump was going to face the scrutiny and the witch hunt he's facing now. And it would have nothing to do with anything they said it was about. It was about that meeting with NATO. It was about those meetings with the world leaders. America, we're not going to defend the empire anymore. We're not going to let you drag us into a managed decline. We're not going to play muscle and bully for the controlled chaos. We're not going to do it. We're not that stupid. Not all of us are that stupid anyway. Joe Biden, he is that stupid. So Laura Ingraham is right. Joe Biden is weak. But don't let Laura Ingraham convince you that Joe Biden needs to attack Iran and pull us into a forever war because 3 American soldiers were killed and they can't even identify the drones that did it. That would make you stupid. And I'm not a stupid man. And that's why Laura Ingraham and the rest of them would never have me on. See, they're only interested in the WWE. I said earlier on my Twitter, if you watch Fox News, you're a moron. I had somebody come back and say, why would you alienate the people who watch Fox News? You need them to vote for you. I need them to vote for themselves. I don't need them to vote for me. If voting for themselves ends up being a vote for me, then so be it. Amen. Praise be to God. But if not, if you don't actually understand the value of your citizenship and you don't understand what it means to vote in your own interest in these most chaotic and corrupt times, I don't want your vote. Because the vote won't mean anything. I don't need people to, the process of politics is not just about whether or not we achieve the desired result. Is there a change in the mind and heart of the American people? And then without that change, this republic will die. This empire will die in infamy, just like all other empires have.